Atrial fibrillation, also known as A-Fib, is a rising health concern. If you're not exactly sure what it basically is an irregular heartbeat where your heart will start beating really fast, and then it might slow down a little bit, and they'll go really fast again, and so forth. Um, A-Fib is affected over 10 million Americans, and worldwide, as of 2020, it was at 50 million people affected with AFib. That's how big of a health concern this is. Now, one of the big issues with AFib is the risk for stroke. So, let's talk a little bit about AFib and let's talk. So, today I want to talk to you a little bit about AFib, and I want to talk to you about a diet hack that people are doing and they are fixing their AFib. I'm one of them. There's many others that have talked about either getting improved symptoms, less bouts of AFib, or no AFib at all with this diet hack. So let's go into it. Now, first thing here, let's look at some of the risk factors, the highest risk factors of getting AFib. Hypertension, high blood pressure is one of the big risk factors. So is sleep apnea, diabetes, obesity, chronic kidney disease, lung diseases, excessive alcohol, drinking too much alcohol, stimulants like caffeine, anything pretty much that has caffeine in it, but like nicotine, certain drugs, those types of things. High stress is another thing. So, what is that diet hack that can reduce all these risk factors and reduce your chances of AFib and even possibly put you in remission like me? I was having 2 to 3 episodes a week, and now I am over 3 years without a single episode of AFib. I am off the medication. I was on blood thinners, no longer on that. My cardiologist is very comfortable with that. I now have a low risk factor of going into AFib. So, what is that hack? A hack is essentially getting rid of all sugars, processed foods, carbohydrates, really. Getting rid of all those carbohydrates and going to a very, very low carb diet or no carb at all, like the carnivore diet. Now, technically, it's not no carb because there are carbs in everything. Like eggs have a little bit of carbs. It's less than a gram of carb per egg, but there is a little bit there. But you get the point here. We're talking about getting rid of all of that plant material, those vegetables, the fruits that can have a lot of fructose and stuff like that in them. You tend to lower your blood pressure. You lose weight, so you no longer have the obesity thing. Lots of people going to carnivore have gotten rid of diabetes, or they have significantly lowered their A1C. You've got sleep apnea that goes away fairly quickly for a lot of people. Some people it takes several months, but a lot of people notice it within a couple of months. Kidney issues, kidney disease. There have been people that have gone to a carnivore diet and have improved their kidney function, gotten rid of kidney disease. Same thing with lung issues. The obesity we already talked about. Other things that I didn't even talk about yet, but let's go into those. Some of those dietary things, right? The excessive alcohol. When you do carnivore, you should stay away from alcohol because that doesn't fit the carnivore diet. So you no longer have that issue. Caffeine, you might still have coffee with caffeine, but if you are somebody that already has a problem with AFib, you should be cutting out caffeine. And that is not up for debate. Like every cardiologist or doctor will tell you that caffeine can cause you to go into an AFib episode if you are somebody that's had AFib. So that's something I get rid of. High stress. Now, this is something, there's maybe a little bit of debate to this, but many, many people that are on a carnivore diet say that they have less stress than they used to. The brain fog is gone and they're more calmer, and that helps as well. So, these are all different things. They tell you that family history can play a role, and to an extent that is true. But when you look at that, it's mostly the people that were eating the wrong diet that was giving them issues, that they had pre-diabetes or diabetes, they had sleep apnea, different things like that. So those are the things that you really want to focus on. So that's the diet hack, focusing on getting rid of those high risk factors. Again, we're talking about stuff like high blood pressure, sleep apnea, diabetes, obesity, kidney disease, different lung diseases, lung issues, um, excessive alcohol drinking. So, maybe I drink here and there. Okay. For me personally, I try to completely stay away from it because I had A-Fib. But, that's something, it's funny. They'll call that the holiday heart syndrome thing because a lot of people tend to drink more alcohol around the holidays. The other thing is they tend to eat a lot of food too, a lot of sugar. But alcohol has a lot of sugar as well. And they tend to do that. And they go into their A-Fib episodes more often, so forth. Um, Again, the caffeine, about the only thing really with caffeine that is okay for carnivore is coffee, right? With caffeine. But if you have AFib, you should know that you shouldn't really have caffeine. So you should stay away from caffeinated coffee. Go decaf or don't even have coffee at all. Like I don't have coffee at all. I just completely stay away from it. So those are the big risk factors. Lower those risk factors. Do it with a carnivore diet or another low carb diet like carnivore. Maybe you want to go completely to beef in that's known as the lion diet, or you just want to go more ketovore where you have a few vegetables and there's some whole foods, whatever it is, go to those things, reduce those risk factors, and that's going to help with your AFib. Like I said, I was having 2 to 3 episodes every week easily, sometimes more than that. I'd go into AFib and maybe it was because of the medication or whatever, but a few hours later, I would usually go back out of AFib into normal heart rhythm again. And within a few weeks of being on the carnivore diet, I was not going into AFib anymore. It's now been over 3 years. It has been almost 2 years since I've been taken off of the medication that I was on. No blood thinner anymore, so I don't have to worry about falling and getting hurt and bleeding out and all those types of things, right? It's just been a huge turnaround, and it's all because I did those things to reduce those risk factors through my diet, which I used the carnivore diet to do so.